Hello, hi everyone. It's your girl Creatively Anzi here, and this is Melanin Gamers. We are back again with our bite-sized podcast. I am here today. The full team is actually present today, which I think will be the first time we are all here doing the podcast, which is insane. I'm here today with Obsidian Fury,
What's going on, gang?
Zen,
Good, was good.
In the Dark,
Hey guys.
and OG Otaku.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your girl, Creatively Anzi, your hostess with the mostest. Today we are talking about if physical media is a thing of the past. I'm talking about the good old days of blockbusters when you went to go and get, it was a VHS back then, wasn't it? We're talking DVDs, Blu-rays, physical games, going down to CEX to get a game. Those midnight releases, I really miss those midnight releases, queuing up for them. That all that nostalgia of having a physical edition of the game, the steelbook, limited edition, all of those things are those a thing of the past. Nowadays, you just click a few times and the game just goes straight to your library, or you have Game Passes, PlayStation Plus, Xbox Game Pass. Are all of these taking over our physical editions of games or not? I'm not sure, but I really hope not. We're going to hear from Obsidian Fury, who is I actually don't know his opinion on this one. I'm not sure. But take it away, Obsidian Fury.
Keep your enemies guessing. That's how we roll over
Okay.
here, my friend. The gaming industry has pushed for digital copies on consoles for a very long time, and I understand that a lot of people are apprehensive. I'm one of those people because there are times when, let's say that I've downloaded all of them onto my console and then I don't buy the Game Pass. Do I still have access to those games even though I actually spent money to buy it? So there is, depending on the system, the monetary system, there is like an additional fee to be paid. Whereas back in the day, when I bought a £44 game, I got the CD and I knew that CD had the content on it. So in that way, is physical media a thing of the past? But to your question, I think we are slowly entering an era of everything is a lot more online. So for people who are more nostalgic like me, I would like to buy it just to have it in my house and have it I like looking at my games and that kind of thing. But I think the physical media is dying, and I do think it is a thing of the past. But I do there still should be space for it in the future because of I don't really like the aspect of having my games being taken away from me. That is what and we've heard like horror stories where it's like you can have your games taken away from you if you do some nonsense. And I think that if I've bought the game, then I should have the game. I've bought it, so it's mine. But I'm always umming and ahhing about this. So probably when I start fights with the rest of the team, that's probably where I land is where I land.
I mean, I agree with you, which I hate to do, as you know, as usual.
Because I'm
But
right.
before I can, no, don't even go there with me. Before we get into it, Zen, what about you? What's your opinion on this about physical editions of games?
No, I agree with what has been said so far. But the funny thing is, us having this podcast at the time that we are having it, there was interesting like little video that I was watching that was talking about the return of discs actually coming back. Us getting rid of them, yeah, because of there was always a limitation with how much you could store on a disc. We all used to burn, them ones where we used to find a track and used to have to burn them onto a CD, but it was always limited. Yeah, we all know. Yeah, kind of sorry, now I age a little bit, but
No
um,
comments for legal reasons.
but now apparently it is actually looking like they've done new technology to say that if they just make the thickness of the CD a bit thicker, it will actually be the same size as having the amount of storage data that they can put on it will be the same as having 3 terabyte hard drives because of how you store it in terms of lights. That's apparently what they're talking about. They make the thickness of the discs a bit thicker, so it'll be a chunky boy disc, but they're looking to return disks to hold data to cut down the sizes on servers. So we could see, and they're talking about games. So let's take some of the bigger games like GTA, open world games like even let's talk about Warzone and COD. How big everyone talks about it. Like it's from the minute you get the game out. Even if you buy the disc version, you put it in for 2 seconds. It's like, no, I got to download the actual data onto your thing, and that's like 100 gigs of data not to mention all the updates. What they're saying is those bigger games can actually have up to, I think they were talking about potentially 200 or 300 gigs of data on those disks. And then all you'll need is just the updates after that. But they can hold the base storage of how the map and everything entails and textures on that. So it'll just be little inserts. So the disc might come back. It's funny
Okay.
that we're having this right now.
I'm always apprehensive because I don't know. I haven't done like a lot of reading into this. Like I have my base opinion, but normally I like to do a little bit of reading just to understand like all the kinds of nuances. So I don't know how. I'm also environmentally like conscious in that regard. And CDs, especially, I don't know if CDs are like recyclable and that kind of thing. So I'm also like thinking about in that angle as well. But I do understand there is like a separate discussion about the space of games nowadays. And I think that if like CDs, USBs, or like additional hard drives can alleviate that, then I'm all for it, because like some of these games, like look at, I think Final Fantasy, for example, was like was 2 discs. It was a 2 disc special because of how much space and like how much like content there was on that game, and how much space and how much data it was. Memory, I think it's data, yeah. So how much like space, like data space, is required for some of those games is kind of like wild to us. Like if CDs can alleviate that, then I'm definitely on board. But I also don't want like I don't know like the environmental impact of those kind of CDs, so I'm also apprehensive in that regard. But if they're not like, if they're like 100% safe for the environment, well, not 100%, well, you get what I mean. Like if it's safe for the environment to a degree where it's reasonable, then I would be all for it. But I rather have digital space.
In the dark, sorry, you were saying something. What's your opinion on this? I feel like we're all of the same opinion, unless OJ Taku's going to come in and be like, you know what, screw physical games.
Yeah, he's a menace.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, I feel like they all have their merits and their disadvantages as well. So when it comes to, I've been out of the console stage for a very long time, but I don't know if when you buy the physical copy, does it stay on your account? Like when you buy the digital version, where you can always, immediately you just buy a new console, you log in, you can get all your games saved onto your profile and re-download them back. Whereas for the physical copies, if it gets damaged, you would have to buy it again. You would have to buy it. You can, I don't know if you can download the game onto the console or the PC or whatever when you buy the physical copy. So that is the disadvantage for the physical copy aspect. The disadvantage would be the collectors, the OGs, the nostalgic feeling of you owning an actual physical copy. That's why that would be taken away. Convenience wise, digital copies do serve as where now they're actually creating other forms of storage media like cloud gaming and all these things that are helping with these kind of storage issues. With the physical copy aspect, yes, I also watched a video where they were researching into nanotechnology that could help, certain disks having a storage space of 128 terabytes and all that. So, I'm also on the fence here. It might also, perhaps certain retail outlets that sell physical copies. Yeah, it would affect that market too. There are some stores that go out of business because of. I think we had an issue like that during the COVID era or something, where outlets were not being able to open and all these things because people had access to them online. People just stopped going to the retail shops to get the physical copies and stuff. So
that was one of the points I wanted to say actually about shops. For example, Blockbusters. Us losing Blockbusters, I'll never forgive us for losing Blockbusters. And
Blockbusters had it coming.
Let's not even get into that. That's a discussion for a different day. But before
it's true, they could have bought Netflix and they said no. It's always going to be physical media.
Hello, can we have OJ Otaku's point, please?
Sorry, go on.
OJ Otaku, do you have a different opinion on this, or are you of the same opinion as everyone else?
I have a different opinion on
it. Oh dear. Go on.
I have a different opinion on this. I don't think physical media is gone, but I do think that it's going to be greatly reduced in the future in terms of less units shipped worldwide, less copies of your favorite game on the store shelves. The reason for this is like, we know games cost a lot to make,
Mhm.
and production and shipping and all the rest of it is just one big expense that those game companies don't need. It's the reason why Microsoft are so now fully focused on cloud gaming and producing gaming content that can be used on any form of media device, because cloud gaming is a big part of the gaming industry, and the infrastructure that they're building right now is one of the main drives of the gaming industry. It's the reason why companies like Apple are getting sued for just holding all the market shares basically, or just like everyone has an iPhone, they're controlling the market. Same why certain gaming deals haven't been allowed to go through and certain acquisitions haven't been allowed to go through, because the monopoly on the market that they would have from it would stagnate the growth of cloud gaming and cloud streaming. Look at Game Pass. Look how impactful Game Pass has been to gamers everywhere because of its sheer, library and access. Look at PlayStation has now PlayStation Extra. Same thing, because these things will just cut costs for the company, allowing them to basically, make more money, which is all they want. The only thing that is stopping it from becoming a completely digital market right now is the monopoly that each like console company, Microsoft, Xbox, Nintendo, have on their own markets, because the prices on, like, for example, the PlayStation store compared to the prices you would get going down to your local store is gonna it's always more. It's at least £10 more on PlayStation to download the game. But if there was more competition in the digital market, where like there is for PC gaming, where you can buy a PC game key to run on Steam or whatever you want for cheaper than the price of what the game would be usually on the official store such as Steam or Epic. So once they figure that out, and it will happen, because as I said, currently companies are just getting it from all angles. Even PlayStation have got it because of PlayStation's monopoly on their PlayStation store and the way that they're inflating the prices of their games, compared to like Dragon's Dogma is £79 on the PlayStation store. Yeah, but it's £60 in the shop. It's still £60 in the shop, but £79 on the store is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So when the dust settles on, like, all these companies getting taken for their monopoly of their own stores, I think we'll really see the market open up. When you can go to sites like Green Man Gaming and Humble Bundle and get you PlayStation codes, Nintendo Switch codes, Xbox Game Pass codes for your favorite games, the physical market will be gone. I love physical media. The only reason I got Dragon's Dogma is because I was able to trade in my old games, physical media, and use that to leverage me getting the new game, Dragon's Dogma. I know, give it 10 years or so, I might not have the opportunity to do that anymore.
Fair. Okay. That actually reminds me of what Anzi said in the very beginning about CYX. Firstly, that place is a scam. How am I going to go over there with a brand new copy?
CYX, or is it It's a CEX? I thought
CEX, yeah. How am I
Yeah.
meant to go over there with like a brand new edition and tell me, no, we can only do like 30% on the dollar? So it's like I bought it for £60 and they're telling me, yeah, 15. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? This is brand new. But that's beside the point. So from that reason alone, I don't like that place. I'd rather go.
I hear you, but is there anywhere else that will do it? No. Yeah, and that's why they win. I go to CX many times. I know I'm getting ripped off, but listen, I need that game today. Yeah, I'm not going through the longness of putting my old games on eBay and stuff to sell.
I'd rather what you call it. That's one of my great motivators, being paid.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I need my game today. I ain't got the funds to pay £60 for it. But I've got a bunch old games on my shelf collecting dust that can go. Yeah, I traded in 5 games for one, but there's 5 games I was not playing.
But do you know what they do well though? Is the fact that they try and keep it within not getting your actual money, but you get more for trading in to get more games or to spend
Yeah,
it within themselves.
yeah. I never go for the actual cash. You always go for the voucher because yeah,
Mm.
you get more
Because
the trading
they make
value.
sure that's completely ridiculous to the point where you're like, do you know what? Let me just get a like for like item. I'm still getting ripped off, but not as bad.
Jesus, is that the state of the world where we're like, I know I'm getting ripped off, but that's just the way it goes. That's crazy. But
But it's like a better deal than having to shell out 70 quid every time a new game comes out that you want to play.
that's I what you call it, when it comes to games, I don't buy every single game. Sometimes I'll buy it and I'll what you call it, and I just let it gather dust. But if I want to buy a game, or like I reduce the amount of games I buy, so I'm very prudent with what I spend my money on. I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm just saying that I'm very like, I don't mind not playing the biggest releases in that today if I'm gonna wait for it to like maybe the hype to die down, and maybe I might get it a little cheaper like a year from now. I don't really mind doing that.
I hear you, but FOMO's a hell of a drug.
Can I put one last little thing just for us to think about, yeah?
Go
So
on.
today we have Anzi. So
Mm-hmm.
Anzi is a firm person who's like, "Do you know what? I like to buy my physical copies, and I know you got your shelf where you keep your physical copies
I love
of
my
your
physical
games."
copies. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Anzi. Then you got OG Ataku. He's like, "Do you know what? I need to be forward thinking. I need to get on the technology. I can't be bothered to walk down to go and get this. I can't be bothered today. It's raining. Let me just go on. So you both buy like 3 games each. Oh yeah. Let's go and buy these games. Equating to £150 each way.
Right.
Yeah. Physical. Okay. Actually, OG, we already said yours is gonna be not so. Andy's 150. OG, I'm sorry, you're looking at lady £200 because we know the markup. We know the
Yeah,
digital
exactly. No,
markup.
I hear that. I hear that.
So the £200. Now, all of a sudden, there's a thing going on that you're both playing your game. Bang, you get a blue screen. PlayStations or whatever. No, I'm not looking at any network. Whatever PlayStation, whatever you guys are playing on, you're playing on the same system. Yeah, we've got a nationwide issue. There's networks down. You now go back the next day, think, okay, I can't get back on. Sorry to inform you both that your file's been corrupted. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't recover your account. Your account's gone. £200 is gone. Whereas the physical copy, Andy can go and remake an account and go and continue on her day.
Yeah, no, 100%. I heard that, and especially in this whole digital market area. I mean, look what Sony PlayStation just done for their movies. They had the Funimation on there before. And people would have bought things on that service, episode series that they wanted to watch and everything. It's gone now. Like anyone that paid for that is gone because the company's not there. Things like that do occur. But I would say when I'm saying it's a whole digital future, I don't think it will be necessarily buying individual digital games, although that will be a thing, but it will be the streaming services. It will be the Xbox Game Passes, the PlayStation Extras, the Netflixes of games, basically. Those will be the future. And then like it may be like, yeah, the odd big AAA games come out. Now you're buying a physical copy for that or whatever. I was gonna say the games I traded in to get Dragon's Dogma, the reason I traded in those games is because I have them now all for free on my PlayStation Extra. And it's ridiculous because I got some of those games in December for Christmas. Yeah, we're now in April and they're already obsolete because I've got them free there on my PlayStation Extra. So I just traded them in.
I agree, but I do think there is a concern when it comes to like the centralization, because centralization, like you're talking about, has its comforts where it's like everything is there. I can just click a button and all that kind of thing. But with centralization, there also comes the fact that the product is not actually yours. So like Zen said, one blackout or one zero, where is zero, there's going to be a one. Where there's one, that's zero. Suddenly, all your copies is gone. And I think there is something lost when it comes to actually having the physical content in your hand and saying, I bought this is mine. rather
Yeah.
than the digital of it's on the console, but if the console messes up and it's not like backed up on my username, then I'm gonna be doing phone calls after phone calls after phone calls just to try and prove that I actually did pay for this game and it actually deserves to be on my account and that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, there is pros and cons to that kind of centralization.
it is
But
pros and cons, but yeah, we have to see which new invention's gonna come out and change the game for us. I'm just
yeah,
saying, looking at how the current market is going, layoffs, corners cut on development, you know, all these places they're trying to cut costs and reel it back in.
It's all
And
about the
the
money.
biggest one, yeah, it's all
Mm.
about the money. The biggest one is distribution. Like all those plastic cases, all those CDs, the freighters that they're sending them to that country, this country, that is money, money, money. If they
Yeah.
can get rid of that whole process or even half it, we're only making half the amount of units of this game now. We're only sending them to half the countries, then they would make so much more money off that. And that's what I say. As I always say, follow the money and you'll see where things are going.
That is very true. Okay, yeah.
That is very true. The person in me who likes to recycle, who's mindful of the environment, understands that physical copies can't always be the way. But I'm also I love I love holding it in my hand. Like, this thing is real. It's amazing. I just like looking at it as well. I have all the Assassin's Creed. Sometimes I just look at them and it makes me happy.
It sounds like I have a
Can't
problem.
really do that when it's just like I'll just go into my library on PlayStation or what have you. So
Yeah.
it's a bit different, and I understand that it's, making these games, the plastic involved, all of that sort of stuff, that also counts towards the environment and things like that. So that's why things are digitalized. But it's also when these things are on for example, yesterday I wanted to play Cooking Mama and I wanted to download the game. The game has been discontinued. You can't get it anywhere. I have the
Really?
You can't get Cooking Mom. I don't know why they discontinued the game. You can't find it anywhere unless you had. I have the physical copy. It's in my house in London. So I was like, I have to wait till London until I get back to play because I wanted to download it. It's been discontinued, and that's a problem that we
That
will
is a problem.
face if it's purely online and they take it back. That's it. Imagine you pay for that. Now it's discontinued. You no longer have access to something you actually paid for. And you also enjoy. And for nostalgia reasons, I was feeling like, oh, I missed this game. I want to play it. And I was like, discontinued? What? And so that's another issue of, if we stop having physical copies, we will also lose so many games that way as well. And
I
that's my
heard that. But on the other side, I would like to say, think of things like Nintendo. Yeah.
Mm.
Nintendo are notorious for losing legacy games. A game that came out one time on the Game Boy Advance is not coming out on any other console ever again. If you did not purchase it there and then on the Game Boy Advance, you will never have the opportunity to play that game.
That's
However,
insane.
some people may have access to things called ROMs and emulators
Yes.
that may allow them to digitally access and play those games, therefore continuing the legacy gaming without Nintendo's help.
Uno reversal, not bad, my father.
But yeah, I understand, and there's a lot of there's pros and cons to both sides. Of course, as someone who I like physical versions of books. I don't like Kindles. I don't think they have the magic of holding a book in your hand, smelling that book for the very first time, and it's a special kind of magic. And don't get me wrong, nowadays I do sometimes get books online, but because I already have the physical copy of it. But it's just that I couldn't carry it with me because I limit myself to like 10 books when I'm traveling.
You have a problem. And when you say things like that, it means you have a problem. You know that, right?
I don't
10
care.
is
I
half
limit
your
myself to
carry-on
10 books
luggage.
because of suitcase space. But I hear the how things being digital have its merits, but I feel like there needs to strike a balance of both. Completely getting rid of physical copies is insane. I don't think it can run, and I don't think it's good for the future of gaming. The way you can have a monopoly on some games or just get rid of them at a flick of a button. I don't know if you guys know this, but Toy Story was actually deleted initially off all of their Disney servers, and an employee had downloaded it onto his main server at home. And that is the reason why we have Toy Story today. Something like that can happen. We could get in a brilliant game that was accidentally deleted. No one backs it up and it's gone forever. What? It's just, no. It's like once it's online, it's there forever. Untrue. Actually can be deleted and gotten rid of. So
Once it's on the internet, it's gone. It's there forever. But if your server crashes,
yeah, it can,
you're done, bro.
yeah. So I think they need to strike a balance of both physical copies and also online. Obviously, stressing of online because of waste and things, but let's not get rid of physical copies. And I think that's one of the reasons why vinyls have come back, because people miss having something to hold, and there's a market for it and there's a space
I
for it.
think, you know what? I think vinyls is a great representation of this. Because I do think it will go the way of the vinyl in terms of like Spotify is the streaming service that most people get their music from these days.
Yeah.
Like, not to say people don't download music or get it from other places, but Spotify is a music streaming service that most people internationally use to get their music. It doesn't mean people don't go out and buy the odd vinyl, but they're not making vinyls for every album that drops. They make it for the few, the special ones.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how it will become with the gaming industry.
Exactly.
But it hasn't negated the centralized issue, because let's say that Spotify deletes an artist's track, it's gone. Like, that's it. So in that sense,
we would have to hope that the games companies hold on to their own like masterworks and have at least one physical copy in the vault there for them.
precisely. So yeah, but okay, yeah, we're going in circles, but yeah, I agree with everything that was said. So yeah, and I'll let you close out.
Oh, I thought you were going to close there for a second. I was like, well, okay. But thank you guys again. We've had this discussion, and I think it's an important one in terms of the future of gaming and where it's going. And I, for one, really hope that a vinyl effect does happen, and we do get those sort of special times when we physical copies are pushed a lot more, because there is a market for it. And, as we always say, follow the money. So if there's a market for it, we hope that it comes true. But it's been really nice coming back to the podcast. You guys, we're doing this regular again. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been here with In the Dark.
Yeah, bye guys.
OG Otaku.
Keep it OG, peeps.
Zen.
Peace out.
And Obsidian Fury.
In a bit, my people.
And it's been your hostess with Mosters, Creatively Anzi, and this is Melanin Gamers. Thank you. Bye.